Encouraging. Yesterday, we showed you how the hardball pitch from a salesman in your home can take you off guard. Whether they're selling encyclopedias or insurance, you'll often get the same hard sell to resist the squeeze. Well, tonight, Liz Crenshaw shows us how the hard sellers get you to close the deal.
Hi, Mr. and Mrs. Smith. I'm Murray Schweitzer with Crenshaw Timeshares Incorporated.
Yesterday, we showed you how the hard sell game is played. News 4 producer Murray Schweitzer, who at one time sold in-home, has been studying the hard sell. He showed us yesterday how he got his foot in the door of this couple's home. We're calling them the Smiths for our demonstration. Murray, playing the salesman, was initially seated in the Smiths' formal living room. But that's too stiff a place for a sharp salesman to conduct business, so he moved them to the dining room table and seated them so he could watch both at the same time. Then Murray began his presentation.
This is what one of our places looks like. You can see the kind of people who show up. You can see the kind of opportunities they have.
During the presentation, he asked lots of questions and got answers that would allow him to clear objections later on.
What do you normally spend on a vacation?
Maybe a couple thousand?
Yeah, maybe 2,000.
He also told the Smiths he wanted a yes or no decision that night, and he's gotten them to agree.
Does that sound fair to you, Mr. Smith?
Yeah, I suppose so.
And does that sound fair to you, Mr. Smith?
Sure.
Murray's been with the Smiths for about an hour now. He's eliminated possible objections all along the way, and of course, made the timeshare vacation sound like Shangri-La. Now it's time to close, to get the Smiths to sign the contract. Physically, the contract has been on the table all the time, carefully hidden under a stack of other papers. Now it's revealed.
Now, I want to show you what this is going to look like on paper.
Well, I'm not so sure we're ready for, and I don't know that we're ready for this stage.
Mr. Smith is nervous now. He knows money time has arrived, and he doesn't want that contract filled out. But Murray is ready with a sales tactic called the 3F principle. Using the words feel, felt, and found, Murray is going to turn around any objection.
You know, Mr. Smith, I know how you feel. Others felt the same way, too, but you know what they found? They found when they saw it all detailed on paper, made the decision for them very simple. Don't you feel that way, too?
Murray is quickly filling in information now, but not allowing the Smiths to see the contract quite yet. As Murray fills in the contract, he turns up the pressure.
I think you're going to like these numbers, though. Let me just write them down. I think you'll like them.
Mr. Smith's mind is now racing as the contract is completed. He's desperately searching for a reason not to buy. Finally, Mr. Smith comes up with a strong objection that he thinks will get him off the hook.
But I'm particularly concerned about my work. I'm relocated from time to time. I'm transferred from, I could be here, I could be in Denver.
Murray's got him now. Here's the hard sell closed.
Okay, let me get this straight. You like the program?
Yeah, I think we're...
And the only reason you're not going to join tonight is because you could be transferred and then maybe the membership wouldn't work out? Well, let me write down here that this membership is void if you're transferred more than 200 miles. Would you put your name down there, please, you underneath?
Murray closed them on the final objection. What could the Smiths do? They told the salesman 3 times the only reason they weren't buying tonight was their fear of being transferred, and the salesman cleared the objection. At this point, the Smiths would have to admit they lied. Let's see another close. This time, let's pretend the Smiths are an older couple, afraid to sign tonight because Mr. Smith is up in years.
So the only reason you're not going to join tonight is the fact that something could happen to you and then she would be stuck with the membership?
Yes.
Well, let me write down here that this membership is void upon proof of your death. Would you sign there, Mr. Smith, you underneath?
Devastating. The Smiths stated one final objection, the salesman cleared it away, and now the Smiths own something they never wanted.
Tomorrow, a great tactic for fighting back. How to get the salesman to back down. You want to watch that.
It is also very important to remember that if you do sign, federal law gives you 3 days to change your mind. So if you don't like the deal, call right away to cancel or send a registered letter if they don't answer the phone.
And coming up, we'll save you big bucks on your next...
Learned after 87 is if you hold tight and you stay steady with your investment, you do okay.
Should be okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, have you ever been stuck with a salesman who just won't leave you alone? This week, we've been showing you how a salesman in your home plays a game of psychological warfare to get you to sign up for anything. Finally, tonight, Liz Crenshaw has advice on how to fight back.
Let me ask you a question. Do you like golf?
Not a huge golfer, but I do enjoy winning. surfing, and we
Oh,
played them at tennis.
water sports are great. Do you like golf? What do you enjoy?
Tennis, working.
Yeah, you're going to find the weather is perfect. It's never too hot. It's always just wonderful.
News 4 producer Murray Schweitzer has been studying the hard sell. He has shown us how salesmen make an appointment with you and then pitch a product or service during an intense psychological game where the pressure can be brutal.
I think you're going to like these numbers when I get them down on paper.
When it comes time to sign the contract, many people are looking for a way out, a way to say no to what's being sold. But that's exactly what the salesman wants. He wants to close you on one final objection.
Well, I guess we do have, there are a couple concerns, but I'm particularly concerned about my work. I'm relocated from time to time. I'm transferred from I could be here, I could be in Denver.
Let me get this straight. You like the program? And the thing that's got you a little worried is that you could be transferred and then maybe the timeshare wouldn't be so good for you.
Well, yeah, and I think that's a
And
serious...
the only thing that's preventing you from signing tonight is the fact that you could get transferred and then you'd be stuck with a timeshare.
That's a big problem.
Well, let me write down here that this membership is void if you're transferred more than 200 miles. I'll tell you what. Would you sign here, Mr. Smith? You underneath?
The Smiths told Murray the one final reason they wouldn't buy, and Murray cleared that objection away and closed them. So how do you protect yourself? First, you have to realize when you're involved in a direct in-home hard sell situation. Understand that you're never being simply introduced to a product or receiving free information. People come to your home to sell you something. You have to break the salesman's psychological hold.
Hi. You won't believe this guy.
Arrange to have a friend call on the phone or leave the room to make a call yourself. Then decide if you want what's being sold. Also, use objections that are impossible for a salesman to turn around.
I want to show this contract to my lawyer.
I'm going to check you out with the Consumer Affairs Agency.
Before I sign a contract, I'd like to see some referral letters.
It's virtually impossible to close on those objections. And finally,
We're just not interested, I think.
I don't think so. Thank you for coming, though.
Nice talking, we're not interested. Thank you. Thank you very much.
That's the broken record technique. As you walk the salesman to the door, tell him again and again you don't want his product and do not give a reason why. And if you can't even get away from the table, remember, as long as you sit there, he has control. Stand up and you change the situation.
Completely. Finally, also a reminder, remember again that there is a 3-day cooling off period under federal law. You have 3 business days to cancel any contract that you sign, and you don't need to give a reason why either.
And when Money Tonight continues, hidden employee benefits your employer probably hasn't told you about, but we will.